Do you know what one of the most important skills I've learned since I started self-improvement was? It is developing empathy. When I first started self-improvement, I was so focused on improving myself and only myself. All I did was work out, meditate, all that, but I kept it to myself. And when I saw other people struggling, like my friends, I knew a part of me wanted to help them and tell them what to do. But then another part of me also knew that they might judge me. So I never said anything because I was too scared to talk about self-improvement to anybody. And so one day during class, there was one of the students which everyone kind of bullied. Everyone was always hating on him because he kind of reminded me a lot of how I was a couple years ago. He was skinny, he played video games, he was decently tall, but a lot of people judged him for that. And a lot of people started hating on him, and I wanted to help him because I was exactly in his position, so I knew exactly what he had to do. And so I finally overcame the fact that I didn't care if people didn't like what I was doing, and I helped this guy out. And that taught me how important empathy is. You have to learn how important it is to bring other people up with you. Because if you go up by yourself, nobody's going to care. In the end, no one's gonna care how much money you have. They're gonna care how many people you've helped. And so I started helping this guy out, and every single day when I was doing my morning laps, I would shout at him, tell him to come do the laps with me, make him do push-ups. I was basically like coaching him. And in the end, he started really getting onto self-improvement. He quit video games, he buzzed his hair, and he just started becoming more and more of a new person. And then he stopped getting bullied or anything, and he was actually respected by the other guys, even though they still didn't like him. But he didn't care. All of that just because I decided to help him. And you could have that exact same thing if you just do it too. Because why is empathy so important? Why is, feeling bad for someone and trying to help them so important? Well, it lets you become a better person yourself. There's a very important thing I learned. And that is the person who learns the most in a classroom is the teacher. Because you can get very good at something, but the only way you can master something is if you teach it to others. So, if you really want to just get to the top of self-improvement, you want to get the success you want, know the fact that if you help others come up with you, you might see progress slower, but you will get a lot higher quality progress. Because there are a couple of skills which empathy is very useful for, and the main one is that it literally helps you become a proper leader. No one wants to listen to someone who's just speaking. They like listening to someone who they feel understands them and their situation. And not only that, but you'll also learn how people actually feel, and you'll know what to do without even having to guess. You will just know exactly what they need. And that will help you become a better leader. It will help you become more self-aware because you're gonna start seeing the same issues in yourself and you're gonna be able to fix them and realize them. I cannot stress how important empathy really is. Knowing that other people are in a bad situation just like yourself and wanting to help them, that is a beautiful thing to have. But I've kind of been going on a rant of how good empathy is, but how do you actually build it? How do you actually achieve it for yourself? Well, the first thing you have to do is the exact opposite thing that schools tell you to do. They always want you to speak, express your mind and everything. But if you really want to succeed, you have to learn the fact that the only people who raise their hands, the only people who speak a lot, are the people who have nothing to say. The easiest way to actually gain knowledge is by listening. Listening is basically a superpower. Because if you start listening to people and their situations, you'll start understanding them better. And in the end, that will help you actually build the skill of empathy. You have to see life through their perspective. What are they struggling with? What mistakes have they made? And what can you do to help them? So I hope everything I just said makes sense. I don't want to waste any of your time, but I feel like this lesson was a very important one. So as always, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. God bless you and have a great rest of your day. Amen.